Skies in central Illinois this morning. Right now in Bloomington, temperatures at 41 degrees, 41 in Hayworth, 40 in Leroy, 41 in Farmer City, 41 in Champaign and Monticello, also 41 in Decatur, 43 in Mount Pulaski, 42 in Lincoln and Springfield, 42 in Peoria. 43 overcast in Clinton. It feels like 39 degrees outside. West winds at 10 to 20 miles an hour. 90% humidity, 10 miles of visibility on this Friday. Weather anytime is at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Your own home without the maintenance. If you're 55 or better, a beautiful Liberty Village villa could be yours. This is Erin, and I invite you to come take a tour of our move-in ready villa. Click the Liberty Village icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Simply the finest.
DeWittDailyNews.com is the area's leading local news source 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Get the latest local news, obituaries, police blotter, weather forecast, and more with no paywall. Head to DeWittDailyNews.com to get the local information you need to know.
The days are getting shorter, and as we prepare to spend more time inside, that means respiratory infections like cough, cold, fever, and the flu. Warner Hospital CEO Paul Skowron here to remind you of our walk-in clinic, which is here to treat those respiratory infections quickly and close to home. The best part? No appointments needed. The Warner Hospital walk-in clinic just inside our family medicine building in Clinton can treat you for those symptoms without an appointment. Get to the Warner Hospital walk-in clinic and get feeling better fast.
Life is uncertain. Stop in and see me, State Farm Agent Jason France, on the west side of the Clinton Square, or click our icon at DeWittDailyNews.com and see how our full lineup of State Farm insurance and financial services can help protect your family.
Local farm broadcaster Jared White covers the local agriculture news you need to know. Hear his reports by downloading the free WHOW mobile app.
The Miller Media Group in Taylorville and Clinton are looking for a person who considers getting results mandatory while maintaining the highest levels of ethical standards. Selling must be in your blood, and self-starting is your calling card. You must be able to work alone or under close supervision. If you meet our stringent standards and we believe you can be a part of a progressive team of committed professionals, we want to talk to you. A $2,000 signing bonus is offered. Send your resume via email to sales@randyradio.com. That's sales@randyradio.com. The Miller Media Group is an equal opportunity employer.
Let's swing open the farm gate together every day on WHOW. I'm Stu Ellis, your host of the long-running agriculture feature called The Farm Gate. I bring the latest news and information on where agriculture is and where it's going to WHOW Ag listeners several times a day. From tariffs to treaties, from the Board of Trade to the running board on your truck, I cover Central Illinois agriculture every day on The Farm Gate. Hear it all on WHOW's many platforms on the radio or online. Join me, Stu Ellis, for The Farm Gate.
The WHOW Morning Show is now video streamed live on the WHOW WEZC DeWittDailyNews.com Facebook page and on the new WHOW TV YouTube channel. Watch Morning Show host Seth Lawrence interview guests live, as well as watch archived video podcasts of any interview you missed. Whether on Facebook or YouTube, we're providing two more ways that Central Illinois' local news station, WHOW, delivers compelling content for you.
You're listening to The Morning Show on the Big 1520 across Central Illinois. WHOW.
Top of the morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube. It's brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. DeWitt County Board Chair Terry Ferguson joins us in studio this morning to follow up the Thursday night DeWitt County Board meeting. Good morning, Mr. Chairman. How are you?
Good morning, Seth. Another fine day in Central Illinois.
Another eventful day for you.
Yeah.
Wasn't the last time we talked, you were like in a tractor or something like that, plowing snow.
Yeah, I was doing that. And it did spit snow yesterday. And you got to remember, every snow we've had this winter has been on a Thursday. So
has it really?
So we're still getting our opportunities there.
Oh, man. Well, eventful day for you. And by the way, as you know, all this rain falls throughout the course of the last week or so. Like, what's that make come to mind for you as it relates to your farming and stuff?
Well, the rain makes mud.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
So we're, it's still too early to be thinking about planting. So I guess we'll get our moisture back in the ground, and
when's
hopefully
ideal?
It'll drive on. I know a lot of guys go early and at the end of March, they've been planting beans that early, but I still like to wait till the mid-April.
Okay. Well, hopefully it dries out for you by then.
Yeah,
It's a little wet out there now. A lot of that mud you're talking about.
Yeah,
right
that's
now.
right.
Terry, let's dive into last night's DeWitt County Board meeting a little bit, and let's just start with appointments. What'd you have for appointments last night?
Well, we had a vacancy on the Farmer City Fire District Board. We appointed Mr. Hardesty to that. And then the RPC, we had a couple members. The terms was up. Joe Whitty and Mark Nunny were reappointed to the RPC committee.
Very good. So those came up last night as well. And speaking of RPC, I do believe you took up a couple of amendments handed down from them. And a few of these, or both of these, I think, were rather dated. So what's going on here?
Yeah, they were about a year and a half old. And I think, one of them was our maybe, two zoning officers ago. It got laid on the table. The RPC brought them to us and said, we need to clear these out.
Mm-hmm.
So we talked about them last night. We approved one. We eliminated the maximum distance you can build from your narrowest property line on a tract of ground. We got to checking, and every time somebody wanted to build it farther than what our code allowed, they were granted a variance for doing so. So we felt there's no reason to have that in the books anymore.
Now, this is not related to wind.
No.
I mean, a lot of folks are, thinking RPC and ZBA anymore, and it's all wind.
This is normal.
Yeah.
Normal people, they buy a strip of ground in the woods, and their ideal building spot next to the pond, might be too far away from the road to meet our code, and you're precluded from building on it without going for a variance. And that's just a step that we decided we didn't need to put people through anymore.
Now, what was the original intent?
I think the original intent was to stop the flag lot.
What is that?
That's when you take a piece of ground and survey it, maybe survey a building site off of it, and you end up with a long, narrow strip of land that's really just enough room for a lane.
I see.
And that was the intent with that. Now then, the other issue was kind of an administrative concern of that the RPC and the ZBA had at the process with the wind farm special use permit. Our previous zoning officer, she determined that the application wasn't complete yet and refused to send it forward. And we ended up with a ruling from the judge, and the county board, had previously said, you got to send that forward. You can't hold it. Mm-hmm. And let the RPC and the ZBA do their job.
Now, what is this ordinance all?
Well, that would codify the authority of the zoning officer to be the person that determines whether or not the application is complete. Mm-hmm. Therefore, if you want to have it that way, I guess you really wouldn't need to have the ZBA and the RPC. Just put it in the hands of one person. Mm. So, we just felt that we didn't want to have that added to the to the language of our code, and we're gonna be reviewing that at the next meeting. We tabled that one.
So didn't take action on that one. How about the previous?
The previous one we took action on.
You passed that one.
Yeah.
All right. Very good. So now, if you were to pass this one regarding the wind and the zoning officer, would that open the county up to some legal
I think
liabilities?
it could. It puts a lot of it puts all the weight of the determination on the zoning officer. Mm-hmm. And that's one thing. Our duties of the zoning officer states that they're supposed to collect the information and pass it along to the RPC and the ZBA.
I see.
And they're not supposed to make the determination whether or not it's a good permit application or not.
Gotcha. Very good. Again, Terry Ferguson, DeWitt County Board Chair, is our guest in studio for this morning, following up the Thursday night DeWitt County Board meeting. The WHOW morning show streams to Facebook and YouTube. It's brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. I noticed public safety and property did not have any reports, or at least any recommendations. Anything of note from those two gentlemen?
No, things are moving along. I think the property committee is going to have some issues to bring forward at the next meeting, but right now everything's going along fine.
Mm-hmm. Very good. So look forward to that. Let's talk road and bridge and some purchasing of new equipment here. Terry, what's going on?
Yeah, the road and bridge department, the highway department's going to purchase a new tractor and mower for them to use to maintain the roadsides. They had a couple of older tractors, and it's time to update at least one of them. So we're going to replace the tractor. Central Illinois Ag got the bid, so we'll be doing business with our local dealers.
This came up in a conversation I had yesterday, actually, at the Chamber of Commerce Business Expo. Terry, I know I ran into you there. Revere Road was supposed to get some, if I remember right.
Yeah.
Weren't they supposed to get some improvements? What's the status of that project?
Well, it's still on schedule. You know, I understand it's going to be bid out, sometime in the next few months, and we'll make some major repairs there.
Now, is that going to come this summer then? Or
no, I think the work will probably be done next year.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. So that's still on the radar, though.
Yeah.
Like, it hasn't gone away. Okay. I was curious about that. Like I said, that came up in a conversation I had yesterday, and thought I'd ask. So, Terry, let's dive into Marina. And the Marina Committee has been really active lately. Do we have breakwater fixed up? Do we, or at least the issue on its way to being resolved? And how about sale of the properties and all those things? What's the status of some of those things?
We don't have anything really new to report. The auction for the surplus property, the 74 acres, is going to be held on April 19th out at the marina at 10 o'clock in the morning. We've got a lot of interest from potential buyers, so we hope that goes well. We plan to utilize the proceeds from that auction to make some needed improvements at the marina. We are under old business. We dealt with the breakwater. After we voted to do it last month, we received a contract for purchase, and we had to act on the contract last night. The state's attorney had a few concerns about it, but I did my best to alleviate those. And
what were his concerns?
Well, one, he was a little nervous about dealing with a Canadian company.
Why is that?
Well, I'm not really certain, other than these concerns if there's an issue with that might end up in litigation. You'd have to litigate anything up in Canada, which would be rather awkward. So, but anyway, I interviewed several marinas here in the United States that's done business with this company and got good reviews from them, and they, I don't think there's going to be any problems. So we're going to go ahead with that.
Now, this has been kind of an ongoing thing. What is this particular contract? What's in this contract of significance?
Well, they're going to be providing 300 feet of breakwater. It's a steel structure with metal pipe or pontoon floats on it, and it's really a heavy duty deal. The last time we did it, we didn't have enough resources to do anything like this. And it was a company we found that was at least they said they could deliver it this summer. Most of the other companies we were dealing with said they were filled up for the year, and it'd be next year before we could get anything done. So we felt we needed to go, and this was one of the more reasonably priced structures that we sought to.
How'd you encounter them?
On the internet.
Okay.
I just started Googling breakwater supply companies, and we had some that were made out of concrete, and then we had some that were all steel, some that were wood, some that were plastic, and
Now, what's a breakwater traditionally made of?
Well, the one we had originally was some heavy timbered. It was kind of like an L-shaped structure. It was like a deck with a big wooden apron hanging off the one side that served as the breakwater. This one is more like a floating, I don't know, I guess just a heavy duty pontoon boat that has some structure down below the water line to stop the waves. And
I see.
And it's made for, I talked to one of the companies that they said, well, our structure's still frozen in for the winter. We got 2 feet of ice on the river, and it's made to handle heavy weather and ice and all that. So we hope it'll be a long-lasting solution.
Yeah, that's kind of what we've needed at the marina.
It is.
So very good. Terry, I had another question about the breakwater. If so, forgive me. It has eluded me here at the moment. So with that, let's take a time out and come back with some more.
Good.
Terry Ferguson, DeWitt County Board Chair, is our guest in studio for this morning. And with that, the morning show again streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. More to come on the morning show.
You connected.
Let's check the markets now on the RFD Radio Network on this Friday morning. I'm Jim Taylor. Corn, beans, and wheat all steady at this hour. May corn 7.51 up 2 3/4. July corn up 2 1/2, 7.31. December corn 6.67 1/4 down 1/4. May beans 17.03 1/2 up 2 3/4. July beans up 1 3/4, 16.84. November beans 14.94 3/4 up 1 3/4. May wheat up 4. 10.89 3/4. July wheat 10.78 1/4 up 3 3/4. May bean meal 491.80 up 5.90. May bean oil 73.70 down 59 cents. In the livestock market at this hour, April live cattle 140.20 up 52 cents. March feeders down 20 cents, 156.57. April lean hogs 103.70 up 92 cents. In the energy market, May Brent crude oil down 201. 117.02. Look at the markets on this Friday morning. Jim Taylor, RFD.
New trucks and SUVs are coming here at Baum Chevrolet Buick in Clinton. This is Scott Baum. Yes, we have new inventory arriving, and you can see what will arrive right on our website. Just click on the pre-order and reserve tab. From there, you will find vehicles in transit and vehicles in production. Or just call our sales staff and we'll help. Find Silverados, Equinoxes, Blazers, including Tahoes and Suburbans, as well as our complete Buick line of SUVs. BaumChevyBuick.com, right from the start.
CEO Paul Skowron here from Warner Hospital and Health Services in Clinton. Preventative health care protects you from infections, whether COVID, the flu, or other respiratory ailments. Schedule your appointment now by clicking our icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
When it comes to fire and water restoration, ServPro of Piatt, DeWitt counties can make your emergency or disaster like it never even happened. Find out all the services they provide by clicking their icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
You're listening to The Morning Show on the Big 1520 across Central Illinois. WHOW.
Once again, a good morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. My guest in studio, Terry Ferguson. We follow up the DeWitt County Board meeting. Terry is the DeWitt County Board Chair, and the morning show streams to Facebook and YouTube. It's brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. All right, Terry, so some financial ends to tie up here from the Thursday night meeting. Tell us a little bit about a claim from or paying back the hospital for some COVID testing things.
Yeah, we had an outbreak of COVID in the jail there a couple months ago, and they had to, and the health department said we had to test everybody twice a week for a period, and the hospital provided those testing services, and now we're going to use our COVID relief. Some of our COVID relief money to reimburse the hospital for the testing.
All right, very good. So that was last night to the amount of almost $6,400.
Yeah.
So that was taken care of last night using ARPA money for that, correct?
That's correct.
Now, how much flexibility do you have with that funding right now?
Well, it's pretty flexible. We allowed to use it for anything COVID related that the county has, or we can use it for things like last month, we recommended buying body cams for the police department, for the sheriff's department, and in radios, we're going to be looking at getting the new consoles for the 911 dispatchers to use. They're not cheap. They're real expensive, but we're to the point where we're losing our ability to maintain them. They're old school. It's kind of like having a Windows 7 computer. They're when they quit making parts for them and software for them, you got to upgrade. So,
all right. So looking forward to that. Terry, talk to me a little bit about premium pay for some of those folks you just talked about, first responders and dispatchers and things of that nature.
Yeah, that's one of the allowable uses for the ARPA fund. And the finance committee meeting this week, we decided to pay all of the sheriff's department, the dispatchers, and the correctional officers all the $1,500 premium pay. You might wonder, we did a $500 payment the previous month for the courthouse employees, and we felt that the law enforcement people are at most risk. They have to go in to deal with the public, whether they've got COVID in their house or not. You bring somebody in under an arrest, and there's a chance they could spit in your face or whatever. So we felt they were at more risk. So we increased their premium pay.
Very good. Very good. Talk to me a little bit about the HGAC buy co-op. Is that right?
Yeah, it's a buying group that has preset bid prices from the state for their products, and that way we can just go to them and buy it just like you went to Walmart. You can
now what would
order
you buy
from them.
this?
You don't have to bid them out. The bid process has already been done.
Okay.
So everything that they handle has all been cleared as the low bid type product.
Now, what's this for? Like, what types of things would you?
Well, we're gonna price our radio consoles for the dispatch center through them. They got everything from heavy equipment down to office chairs, and you can just go pick out what you want. And right now, if anything over $30,000, we'd have to advertise for bid,
right,
and jump through all those hoops. And this process has already been done. So
cool.
It's just another opportunity to have another source to go get product from.
All right. Very good. Terry, talk to me real quick about and I'm trying to remember how the county phrased it, but basically nonprofits and businesses could apply for grants. What's the status of some of those things?
Next we've got 21 grant requests in from the county, some from businesses, some from nonprofits. And on April the 4th, we're going to hold a meeting where that's all we're going to deal with. We're going to analyze the projects, determine how much funding we're going to have available for the projects. We may want to put a cap on a maximum amount that any agency or person or organization could get. We don't know for sure what we're going to do. We got to look and see what we've got and evaluate the project, make sure they meet the criteria of the ARPA program.
Will everything be determined at that meeting, or
no? I'm thinking to go through that many applications. We're probably going to have maybe 3 meetings to do all that.
Yeah. Okay. I was wondering about that. So, all right. So we'll look forward to that process getting started in early April.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good. Well, Terry, thank you so much for your time as always.
Well, thank you, Seth.
Yeah, appreciate it very much. We'll catch you next month. All right.
No, we'll be there.
I'm sure we'll see you between now and then. Terry Ferguson, DeWitt County Board Chair, is our guest in studio. By the way, the morning show streams to Facebook and YouTube. It's brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. If you miss any of the morning show, just check out our archived shows. You can do that through Facebook and YouTube, or check out the audio on demand section at DeWittDailyNews.com. Network news on the way on the morning show.